Before, after.
Welcome to this video, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how I got to this after. I started with window boxes. This soil is about 2 years old, so I'm going to change it out. It's pretty compacted, lots of roots, so I decided to change it for some potting mix, and I'm also adding orchid bark. I'm hoping that that will hold more moisture so I don't have to water it every single day, and that's what I had to do last year. So you can see I put quite a bit of bark in there, so we will see if that works. I've got purple and white alyssum that I have grown from seed, and marigolds that I grew from seed that I bought. The alyssum I collected the seeds, and I'm going to put the white alyssum seed, which I actually collected about 2 years ago, the seed. I'm going to put that in the middle. I love this plant because it attracts hoverflies, and the larvae eat aphids, and I had an aphid problem last year, so I'm planning ahead. The marigolds also attract all kinds of good bugs, so that's another good plant to put in. And also it's very pretty. Look at it. It's yellow and red. It's got good roots too. So I'm just going to mess those up a bit so that it stimulates the roots to grow more. And I'm going to put that on the one side. My plan is to put the orange on one side, the yellow on the other side, and then I have 2 window boxes, so I'm going to do the same thing in the other one so that it's a pattern of orange, yellow with the white alyssum in the middle, and I think that will look really cute. Right now it's a bit it's not super equal, but hopefully the other plants will grow fast and catch up in the full sun. I think they will. And of course you gotta water those plants in, and hopefully I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for this bark to hold that water for longer. The other window box had these little seedlings, and I want to know what they are, so I'm putting them in a little pot to try to keep them, see what they are. Okay, we've got another white alyssum in the middle, and then the yellow on one side and the orange on the other side, and that is it for those window boxes. I think they will look very cute. Okay, next we are moving on to the gladiolus bulbs. So I kept them in here in this little bag indoors because they cannot survive our winter. This one I grew last year in a pot like this, so you can see it's already sprouting. So I'm just going to do the same thing, put a little bit of soil in the bottom and then cover it with a large amount of soil on the top, because otherwise they might flop. I want to give them as much space to grow through, and I'm using the soil just from one of my other containers because I'm going to put a lot of sand in all these soils to make them more aerated and free draining. These bulbs that I'm putting in here have not been grown for 2 years, so we'll see. They are sprouting a bit, so I think we will have good results. But yes, I've kept them for 2 years, just like my seeds. I'm trying to push the limits of how long you can keep things before you grow them. I've got these really small ones that I think I'm going to put in the orange pot. And then we'll put kind of like a smaller one in this square pot. I found that these kind of stone, I forget what they're made out of, I'll put it on the screen, but I find that they dry out really fast. So I'm putting these little small ones in. You can see the growth points at the top and then the roots at the bottom. So you want to make sure the roots are in the bottom. And I'm putting this tiny little baby in there, so we'll see how that does. But I just find they dry out so fast. Last minute I decided to put another bulb in there too, so I am kind of risking it, but I'll put some bark in there as well to see if we can hold some more moisture and make sure that I don't have to water it so much. And then these bulbs really are not growing yet. I'm not really sure how they will do. This one just has a lot of layers of extra kind of dead stuff around it, but the bulb still feels good, so we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know if you can store gladiolus bulbs for 2 years, and we'll see if they come back. And these are all like yellow, orange, reds. And we ended up with 6 pots, single pots, because when I planted them together, they got spider mites and it sucked. We're putting them over there. And the single pots will allow me to move them away from each other if one of them gets a pest. And that's kind of what we're doing. By the way, I got this little turtle, which I thought was so cute in the store. And now I'm kind of second guessing it. But it does have a cute little lamp. So I think I'll like it in the future. But I ended up with 4 pots over there and 2 pots over there. I've also got a little gnome. I've got lots of decorations around now. These containers we're going to put in vermiculite, sand, and we've also got perlite, this sort of white stuff that usually comes in your soil. All this stuff I'm putting in to make it more free draining. This soil is really soggy. I haven't watered it at all, and it's just not drying out. That's why all my bulbs rotted. So everything I'm going to grow pretty much needs free draining or better draining soil, and I've got a lot of shade, so I'm going to put in that all this stuff, the perlite, the vermiculite, and the sand, and mix it in, and hopefully that will help with that. Honestly, I didn't really have a problem in the summer. It is really the winter that I'm preparing for. I don't want to be doing this in the fall and having to take out all my plants, so I'm just doing it now so that I won't have to deal with it in the future. And I'm really not measuring this out at all. I'm just throwing a bunch in and mixing it in. And then with the soil, I don't know if you can tell, but there's just a lot more stuff in there now that should make it make the water run through a bit more easily and not stick around so much. And I did this with a bunch of my bigger pots, pretty much all of them, so they will all have soil like this. Okay, next I am planting a new heuchera because this one did so well for me. I thought I will buy another one, and this pot is about the same size, so I think it will work. The other heuchera made it through the winter and is growing really well, so I have high hopes. I got a green one this time, green one in a green pot. I've got the purple one in a black pot. Probably would have been cute if we could have switched that and had alternating colors, but well, I don't want to change it now, so that's what we're doing. And this one is called Berry Timeless Coral Bells, which I think is really cute. Actually, I love a good pun, and I do think it looks nice in the pot. I'm trying to clean it off, but my hands are just covered in dirt, so that's not helping at all. I'm going to put it in the same spot as the other one. I've moved this one into the corner because it gets less sun there. It's so tricky. I have these weird places in my balcony. Some are so light, some are not light at all. It's just odd. I think this will work well. But I wanted the purple one to be higher, so I got these little containers to put underneath it to make it slightly higher, because I think it'll be nice to have those layers, to have the purple one kind of peeking up over top. We'll see. We'll let it grow and see if I want to put it higher, but for now I think this will probably look nice, have that layered effect. Next, I am planting Morning Glory. So you guys probably know, if you saw my other video, that this tree I think is pretty much dead. Well, it is dead. It's not growing. But I thought instead of replacing it, I will get a vine. So I got Morning Glory with a blue flower. All that's in here, the other thing is Lily of the Valley. But I'm hoping that this will just climb up the tree and make a really bushy growth and block some sun for us in the summer, because it gets really hot. Next, I am replacing the sweet peas. They start growing in the middle of winter, and then there was, the rest of winter, so they died. So I grew another one from seed, and I planted it here under the trellis. I've also got a stick there for it to grow up, but hopefully that will do well. I really want the sweet peas to work, so I'm trying again. I've got my lupins. I'm putting one in that corner over there, which also has some seedlings, but I'm pretty sure this one is like a spiky weed. And I think the other ones are alyssum, and I think they're fine on the side if I just pop the lupin in the middle, but we'll take out that spiky weed. I don't think we need that here. Sorry. I love all the seedlings, but not the spiky ones. So we put one lupin in here, and I'm going to place them in a bunch of different places because I'm not quite sure how well they'll do. I really want these to work. They're supposed to be perennial, so we'll put them in like some more shady spots and some more sunny spots and see how they go. I've heard that they're kind of tricky to grow, so we'll see. I'm even putting one into this shallow container that I had annuals in before, because I just want to see how it does. This actually might be too sunny and too shallow, but we will see. And I've put one in this container that had a Japanese regal fern in it before that did not come back. This one also has some seedlings in it, a little clover, and then this, it has heart-shaped leaves. I think it's actually not a clover, but it looks like a clover. I will look it up and see what it is, but that's fine. I like clover, so I'll leave it in there, and I'll put the lupin to the side, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, and by the way, I took the bottom shelf off of this shelf because I wanted more space under there because I couldn't grow anything in there before, and I want to put the foam flowers in there and see how they do. Okay, and then the last thing I'm planting is the purple alyssum. I'm going to put some around my boxwood because I think it'll be nice if it grows there and cascades down. Hopefully it does well in cascades, but I've got 3 there, and the boxwood's doing really well, by the way. And now the finale of how we got to the after.